We in? Okay, perfect. Hi guys, happy Wednesdays. It's still Wednesday. I feel like this has been the longest day ever. Thank you guys for popping on, and for those joining live, I always tell my team that when you show up, you go up. So with whatever you're doing right now in your life, thank you for making this a priority. We appreciate it. And Sarah last week led off or kicked off this training, and this week you get myself and Megan Bancroft. I know there's 3 separate teams kind of coming together and collaborating to do training for you guys. So just a quick introduction of me. I'm not going to give my whole story. I'm just going to tell you that I'm in Phoenix, Arizona now. I've lived here for a couple years, and I've been doing my Rodan & Fields business for just over 5 years, which sounds so crazy to me to say. I'm retired from working as a nurse. That's what my background is in. And Rodan & Fields has just given me so many amazing options, including obviously leaving my nursing job, being present in my kids' lives. I went through a terrible divorce a few years ago, but relocated to Arizona to be closer to my mom with my babies, and met the best man, and we are now engaged and have this beautiful home together. And that was all thanks to the benefits of this business, and what this business gave me was options. And I truly feel like I'm living my best life now because of what this business has done. And my friend Megan, we met a couple years ago on a training kind of similar to this. We were paired up in some accountability group, and we just became super close. And same thing with Sarah. I met her a few months ago, and we talk every single day. So my biggest piece of advice for you guys would be find your sideline sister to partner with and build this business bigger than you can even dream of, and partnering with somebody else can help you get there. So Meg, why don't you quickly introduce yourself, and then we're gonna touch base on last week and dive into this week's training.
Awesome. Jane, first I have to say your office looks amazing.
Thank you.
New office walls. Mine are plain. Anyways, you guys, hi, I'm Megan Bancroft. I've been doing this business, and my journey is like so similar to Jamie's, which is crazy, but I've been doing this business for 5 years. I started to just, probably like a lot of you guys, to just get a little extra money. I wanted to shop at Target more and go to Nordstrom's. Their anniversary sales going on right now. I was just there. But I got in and I saw the bigger picture, and I thought, my gosh, if I just work a little bit harder and do a little bit more, I can go to the top. And I never self-doubted it. I saw myself in that Lexus before I earned it. I saw myself at level 5 before I earned it. So my belief bubble got really big at the beginning, and I just wasn't stopping. And honestly, it's crazy how much this has changed my life. I still do pharmaceutical sales part-time. So I still do the corporate thing. And, but this business is just, it's crazy how want it to change your life and you work it. It can, you just have to work it. And you guys are obviously here working it. Like you show up, like Jamie said, you go up, because if you don't show up and you're not doing anything, then your business isn't going to change and it's not going to grow. But we literally just built my absolute dream home. We moved in just a few months ago, and that would have never been possible without this business. And so I just love being able to like train and share this and, you know, keep it going with anybody and everybody that'll listen. And that's just all it really takes, is just talking and sharing to everybody. So we can get more into the training and stuff. That's like enough about me, but Jane, if you want to kind of take it over.
Yeah, love that. So guys, tonight we're going to talk about kind of which weapons you want to deploy when it comes to sharing third-party tools with your network and with your prospective business partners or customers. And then we're going to talk quickly about Lead the Way and how to leverage it and why it's so important, and how it can really truly help grow your business. Megan and I are both level 5. Lead the Way milestone 5 achievers from this last round of Lead the Way, which is so freaking exciting. I can't wait to go to Banff. We need to talk about that too after Megan. So last week, you guys, Sarah kicked off this training talking about, like, where do you find your targets, and how do you create that list of people, and where do you find them? And one of my favorite things that she mentioned was the drunk monkey multiplier. And that's where we have this feeling in our heads of, oh my goodness, if I talk to Katie and then I see her in Target, she's going to run away from me. Like, we feel this drunk monkey multiplier in our head that just takes us down this negative spiral of we freeze when it comes to sales, and we don't speak, and then we never bring people into our funnel, because that's our goal. Everything we do in this business is sales, and our goal is to get them into our funnel, from the top of our funnel all the way into either recruiting them into your business as a business partner or making them a PC. Like, that's your ultimate goal, and sometimes we tend to really overcomplicate that. So Sarah's homework last week was create your list of 100 people. Hopefully you did that. If you were on live, you knew what the homework was. If you watched the replay, you got your list of 100 people. We would love to know that you guys all have that and you are ready to go. But we want to simplify this for you. And I know that there's a ton of training out there. There's so much that you can plug into, but our goal with this series is to keep it short and sweet, give you the tools that you need to go out and actually work your business, because you can be overtrained and underwork. I don't know if that's even the right way to say it, but there's just a time that comes where you have to actually put into action the things that you're learning from these trainings. So hopefully that's what this series is going to do for you. So when it comes to deploying your weapon, so now we have our list of 100 people. What are we going to do? How are we going to get them into our funnel? And Megan and I, for a couple of years now, have had this system that duplicates well for us. And we know that this business is not a one size fits all, but here's what we can give you guys are tools that can help you, tools to put in your tool belt to help bring people through your funnel. So Meg, my question for you is, and you're confident, you've been doing this business for a while now, and I know this took a lot of practice. You didn't come out of the gates like knowing exactly what to say and how to say it, but what does your system look like for the next step in a conversation with talking to a prospective business partner?
So you mean getting them onto the phone?
Yeah, like, and I think that's a big holdup for a lot of people in this industry is, I'm so scared of the phone, and then you portray that to other people and then you never pick it up.
Right. So here's what I would say, you guys. I feel like so many people in this business get so scared of, oh my God, what am I going to do if they actually are interested? So you completely freeze and don't even reach out to people because you don't know now what to do once they're like, sure, send me info. Sure, I want to talk. And all of a sudden you're like, ugh, now what do I do? What do I send? Where do I go at this point? And so you have to know what your system is. And like Jamie said, everyone's is different. I'm going to give you kind of my little synopsis of what I do. There's different ways you can do this, but the first thing you have to do is you have to reach out to everybody. I mean, I probably still send 80 to 100 reach outs a week. And I've been doing this for 5 years. I do a lot of cold reach outs on LinkedIn because I'm kind of into that market now, but you have to send a lot to get people to respond to you to then get them on the phone. So let's say I reach out to Sally and I'm like, hey, I have this awesome business opportunity. Are you open to hearing more? Yes. Okay, great, Sally. I'd love to chat with you on the phone. Does tonight at 9 o'clock work? No, Megan, send me info first. Nope, sorry, Sally. There's so much great stuff to share with you. I'd love to chat with you for just 15 minutes first. Does tonight at 9 o'clock work? No, Megan, send me info. Sorry, Sally. You know what? We're going to chat first because it's such good info to tell you. Can you chat right now? I'm actually free. Okay, I don't send them anything until they get on the phone with me. This is me, okay? Other leaders might think differently, and we're going to tell you other different ways you could do this. But for myself, I want to talk to them first. I feel like they're joining me. I'm the one that will be coaching them and holding their hand and all that. I want them to get on the phone with me to hear my passion, to hear my excitement, because that's what's contagious and that's what's going to intrigue somebody. If I just send them something to read, they're probably going to see, oh, it's not $1,000 to join. Absolutely not. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Not doing it. I don't know anything about it. They don't know. They're just going to, all of a sudden, all this doubt's going to creep in their head and they're never going to get on the phone with me. Okay. So if I get them on the phone, you guys, my first conversation calls are very quick, short, to the point. I mean, if I'm talking for more than 5 minutes, I'm probably talking too long. I share my quick story about how I got into this. And then I just tell them, and I kind of weave this into my story. It's the doctors that created Proactive. They created incredible products. The products work. You work this when you want, where you want. It's completely virtual. I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to give you the training. You can make amazing money. I kind of briefly go over how they make their money, but I really, really hone in on the fact that you are your own boss. You work this when you want and where you want. And then that's it. I ask if they have any questions. And then I say, okay, I'm going to send you my Mad Mimi document. And I don't say that. They're like, well, they're going to be like, what? I'm going to send you some information. You can click on it and you can read about it. And then let's jump back on the phone tomorrow. I want to introduce you to my friend Jamie. She's awesome. You're going to love her. And then that way you can really see if this is a good fit for you or not. I think it's great to hear from somebody else. So does tomorrow at 9 o'clock work? Before I hang up the phone, I schedule my next call. I tell them they're going to meet somebody awesome and it's all about them and that they're going to get information. Okay, that's it. I never hang up the phone before I set the next call, and I let them know they're going to meet somebody else, and I'm doing it for them. I don't ask them if they're okay with meeting somebody else. I say, I'm going to introduce you and have my friend Jamie on the phone. You're going to love her. She's awesome. And then that way you can really hear from her about how she's built her business and really decide if this is for you or not. Okay, I tell them what the next step is. I do not ask them. I tell them. I think that is so important in this business. I tell people they're becoming a preferred customer. I do not ask them. I tell people they're getting on a phone call. I do not ask them. I tell them, you guys, you have to have the confidence that this is the next step. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. They've never told me no. So then as soon as I hang up the phone, I text me, Sally, and Jamie in a 3-way text thread. Okay. Introducing them. Hey, Sally, it was so great chatting with you. This is my hot friend, Jamie from Arizona that I told you about. I'm super excited for you to meet her. She's amazing. She's a single mom of 2, lives in Arizona, has a great, business as well. But I'm excited for you guys to meet. Jamie, this is Sally. We just talked. I'm really excited for you to share, your side of the business with her. Does tomorrow at 9 o'clock work for everybody? Great. Done. Okay. Then the next day at 9 o'clock, I get on Sally and Jamie on the phone and Jamie closes them for me. Okay. That's how I work it through. And then I do not talk on the closing call. Jamie does the whole thing for me. Okay. That's scenario number 1. Okay. Scenario number 2, if you do not feel confident doing your own first business calls, maybe you're new to the business. Maybe you've been in the business for a couple of years, but you just feel like maybe you're not saying the right thing, or you don't know what to say in that first business call, or you feel like you're talking too long, or you just need to hear me or Sarah or Jamie do the call for you one time. That's fine. What you can do is if Sally's like, you reach out to Sally and she's like, yes, I want to know more information. You can say, okay, I'm going to send you this link. Will you listen to this? And then let's chat tomorrow. So you could send I have 2 different one from Romy. Jamie, I just sent you these before the call. What was the other? There's one link from Romy, who's like incredible, top
from Jamie Walker,
and one from Jamie Walker, and they're little videos that if you say, hey, I'm going to send you this, will you watch it, and we can chat tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Does that work? And they're like, yeah, cool. Then that video was kind of your tool to then get them on the phone. Okay, so that's another scenario of how you can do it. Does that make sense?
100%.
Okay.
I love that too, Megan, because yes, there are still opportunity calls, which I think are appropriate for some people, but videos, if like these 2, we'll post them in the link below this video on our the replay on the team pages. These videos are really good to have in your toolbox because they're updated. They're just good. I think they're better than a lot of the outdated op calls where you dial in and add a code and hit pound. That's just my opinion. So I'd recommend them.
And this is cool because you send it, whenever you send somebody a video, I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah.
If I see a play button, I'm pushing play. Like, I don't care who sent, it could be a porno. If somebody sends me something and if there's a play button, I'm going to push it. Like, that's tempting, right?
I'm totally sending you one. I don't really have one to send. I'm going to find a porn to send you.
But you know what I mean? Like, if you see a play button, you have to push it. Like, so if you send this to Sally, who she's a stranger, but you're like, listen, you're interested, listen to this 5-minute call or watch this 5-minute video and then let's chat tomorrow. Now, set the time to chat then, okay? And don't say what time's good for you. I learned this from day 1 when I started this business. Don't ask them, hey, so, what time tomorrow works? They're way less likely to respond. But if you're like, does tomorrow at 9 o'clock work? No, but 9:30 does, or sure. Like, there's so much more. You got to just be like, does tomorrow at 9 o'clock work? Does today at 5? You got to just write in for the punch of what time you're then going to connect. So you're expecting them to watch the video and then, hey, does tomorrow at 5 o'clock work to chat? And then you get them on the phone. And then if they listen to the video and you still don't feel comfortable closing, You can still do the three-way closing call with somebody else, right? It doesn't you don't ever have to be on the phone by yourself, but this is something where you could send this, third-party tool to then get them on the phone. Okay.
And guys, to kind of just to recap, because Megan talks fast like I do. I swear you could have been my sister. We will send you also, like in the comment section under our replay, like we have a whole bunch of screenshots of text intros, because I've had people be confused with how much to say, how little to say. Some people say nothing at all and they just put two people in a thread. And I don't want to overcomplicate it, but it's just like a couple sentences about the person you're introducing, a couple sentences about the person that they're talking to, and then set a time. And this has worked for us for 2 years. The last 9 people I've recruited in the last 5 months have gone through exactly this system. So, and same thing with Megan. And if you're not comfortable with it, that means you need to do it more. And if you feel like you need to practice it, pick someone on your team, pick somebody in your network that you can have practice calls with this, because it works like 95% of the time. And then the really cool thing about it, like today, for example, Megan and I had a 3-way call last week and she didn't enroll. But today I jumped in the thread and said, hey, Brianna, did you sign up with us yet? I'm waiting for the announcement so I can celebrate you. And that helps Megan out. It doesn't do anything for me financially. We're not even on the same team, but we both do that for each other. So find your person, your sideline sister or brother, I guess, and have that like relationship. It's just worked for us. So we're going to give you the videos that we recommend, and we're going to give you our 3-way text thread example conversations. Does that make sense too?
And one last thing I want to throw out there. A lot of people are still having maybe trouble getting them on that first call. And so what I've had a lot of my business partners do is start the 3-way text thread to get them even on the first call, right? So even if you're new, you get your best friend Sally and me on a 3-way text thread, and you're like, hey Sally, this is Megan, my business partner. I'm super excited for you to meet her. I've been telling her all about you. Like, I really want you to hear her story, whatever. And then I can be like, oh, I'm so excited to meet you too, Sally. So-and-so has been talking about you, and let's chat. I want to fill you in about this business. And then I can help you get them on the first call, right? So there's nothing wrong with starting a 3-way text thread just to even get them on the first initial call. So that's another option, especially with younger people that won't get on the phone.
I love it. So some of your weapons that we talk about for having in your arsenal, I guess, so to speak, are those op call videos, somebody to do your 3-way text thread / 3-way call introduction, or like Megan just said, if it's an introductory call. There are virtual events. Corporate sometimes does them. Your teams do them. If you haven't done one, do it. And again, partner up with other people who have. I know that we have a template on our page. I know Megan has one. I think Sarah has one. If she doesn't, you're welcome to have mine, guys. We are happy to share all the things with you, no matter what team you're on. We have access to the Redefine blog. If you haven't found that, you can literally Google Rodan and Fields Redefine blog and find tons of articles to help send to your people. Megan mentioned she has a Mad Mimi. And again, this is not something we send to people before we do an initial phone call, because it is so hard for people to read the excitement in our business and what it is that we do. One more tip I could give you is, if you're nervous about, well, the 3-way text thread is just such an easy way for you to get people into a conversation. You could also do voice memo. I would so much rather see you do a voice memo with your excitement than just send them something before speaking. They need to hear how excited you are. Before and after pictures are huge. There's some right on the comms corner off your dashboard. There are pop-up events now. Somebody did a training on this recently. Sarah, you might have to remind me. I want to say it was in the daily, and they talked about pop-up events. And then guys, your ultimate goal is to get them to sign as a PC or a consultant. And just like Megan said, like, you are going to be a PC. We are going, like, there's no option. It's not, well, we have this option to retail. Like, the more you complicate it, and this is just sales 101, you guys, the more you complicate what you're doing, the more likely you are to lose them. The harder you make it, they're out. If you're talking too much about it or vomiting on them or giving them too many options, they're completely out. So those are examples of weapons that we would recommend you use. If you need an example of a Mad Mimi, you can have that too. We've created those. So don't reinvent what's already out there for you to use to get people through your funnel. Is that helpful?
Awesome.
Last thing we also have too, if you need an example of a three-way call, we did one together. I think it's a video just because we did it on Zoom like this. I'll find it and I'll put it under there too. I've literally made a list, and Megan and Sarah, I'll go into your team pages and put them under there too. Okay. So it's not super confusing. Like a mock three-way call. Cool? Any questions on that? If you have any, feel free to unmute, or we can jump right into our Lead the Way, which we're about almost half an hour in, which we're trying to not make this too long for you guys, and we appreciate that you're still here.
I just want to say, like, I think I overcomplicate this. I'm learning so much from both of you. I'm just like short, sweet, to the point, get the job done. Like, don't make it harder than it is. So
short, sweet is huge, you guys. And Megan is so good about this too. And I know we both do it, but she most recently sent me a three-way text thread, and it ended with, well, I should just pull it up. I feel like I could just type in Megan, and there's so many texts in there. She's like, let me just read this to you really fast. It says, Bree, this is Jamie, my awesome hot friend. Thank you. She's a retired nurse thanks to RNF, a single mom of 2 and lives in sunny Arizona. #so jealous. She built an amazing business with RNF, and it would be awesome to hear her side. James, this is Bree. She's a mom of a 2-month-old, a 3-year-old, and a teenager. She owns a gym and totally understands the power of being your own boss. I'm super excited to work with her. Does Sunday at noon work? That's it, guys. Like, and Megan always ends her message with a question, and she always ends the previous paragraph with, I'm super excited to work with her. Do you know what that means? She's assuming the sale. This girl didn't tell her she was joining her. She has no idea, but Megan is putting it out there to the universe. I'm super excited to work with her, and she said it in writing. And then, does Sunday at noon work to chat? And then she jumps in, hi, Jamie, works for me. And then I respond, morning, ladies, sorry for the delay because I was slow. That's annoying. I'm away in San Diego. Sunday, I have a call at noon, but I can talk just after it. Does 11:45 or 12:15 work? And we ended up getting on a call. But it's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, and I will screenshot several of those for you guys because it's just genius and it works. And keeping them in your, I guess, arsenal. I don't know why I keep saying that word, but when I'm sitting there thinking, what can I do for my business right now? How can I help somebody else? I think of Megan, and I pull up her threads, and I'll comment in there like, did you join? I'm super excited to welcome you. And then she'll in turn do the same thing. So super powerful. I love it. Meg, should we lead the way?
Yeah, so I was just going to say real quick too, like, so this girl hasn't joined me yet. Okay. Her name's Bree. It's been a week since Jamie did the closing call. So the next day she told me to reach out to her. So I text her, good morning. I know you've been dreaming about your Rodana Fields business. What kit did you decide? Like, I always assume she's joining me because she's a dumbass if she doesn't, right? We're all here for a reason. We joined for a reason. She didn't respond. You know what I sent her? That little Forrest Gump, like, hello, are you there? I mean, like, and then yesterday she still hasn't responded. I sent her a picture of your dreams are an investment, not an expense. So like, just like little like touches.
Like, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Jamie finally texted in the thread today, and then she responded that she needs to wait a couple weeks, which is stupid, but that's another story. So, you know, it's just don't overcomplicate it. And like Jamie said, you always just got to assume the sale. And I always just assume they're joining me until they tell me like, hell no. So,
which is why you're also so successful in Lead the Way.
Yes. So Lead the Way, phenomenal program. Like, if you're a little bit not sure how it works, if you're like not running for it, if you haven't even ever been on the RF Lead the Way site, like, you're missing out. Every day I'm obsessed. I'm usually in my Google, I'm either on rfleadtheway.com or I'm in my Pulse looking at my numbers. So Jamie, tell me, well, so Jamie and I decided actually last Lead the Way go round that started in January and ended in June, that we were like, we are running for Lead the Way 5. Like, we wanted that trip. We were like, we've never done it. Let's make it happen. Let's put the goals out there. Let's figure out per month how many miles that we need. and we freaking did it, and we did it a month early. I'm super proud of us. But when you put a goal out there, you guys, and even a stretch goal, and you're talking about it, and it's in your brain every single day, and you know what you need to do to get there, then it makes you get there. But you have to like make the goal and then put the plan into action of how you're going to actually achieve it, right? So Jamie, go a little bit deeper and tell me a little brief overview so everybody can remember of how you achieve these miles.
Okay. Well, there are different, and our homework tonight, just so you guys are aware, is you're going to have to go to the Lead the Way Journey website and select your goals. That is your homework. And it is not hard. It's super fun because you get to pick what gifts you're going to get. So in order to achieve milestone 5, it's 50 miles, and your average miles per month should be 8.3. Okay. Now, how do you achieve miles? You get 2 miles for every 10 PC orders. Okay. So every 10 orders, or for the first 10 orders, you're getting 2 miles. Every 5 orders after that 10, you're getting an additional mile. So if you have 20 orders, that's 4 miles. 20 PC orders. A PC is anything over $80, preferred customer order. Now, corporate recognizes the importance of growing your team, because we know if you want to have a lasting business, you need to have an organization of people, because it's way easier to make money when you have a lot of people doing a little bit rather than you doing a lot. And if your only focus is on PCs, let's shift that tonight to bringing on business partners. And we just gave you really great tips on how to do that with your funnel. So corporate recognizes it, so they have created a program that's double miles. You guys, that is insane. And that is how I was so excited to bring on so many business partners, because I knew it was going to get me miles. So every 2 consultants you enroll with at least 300 SV get you 4 miles, because it's double miles. And that is good through September 30th. So if you look at it and you want to map out, by the end of December, I need to have 50 miles. You need to do the bulk majority of your recruiting prior to September. So you have July, August, and September to earn double miles. It is so smart and so powerful for you to be able to get miles. So Meg, what do you think being part of Lead the Way does for your business?
You guys, it's huge for everybody that sees what you're doing and that you get rewarded along the way. Like that FOMO. I mean, on my Instagram stories, I was opening every Lead the Way gift that would come to my house. You know, I mean, the fact that you can earn things like Apple computers and the Nordstrom shopping spree. Like, I mean, you guys, this Nordstrom shopping spree thing, like I have so much stuff coming to me, like the anniversary sales going on right now, and I get to spend $1,000. Like, that's insane when you wrap your brain around it. But it's fun to earn those gifts, because I don't know about you guys, but like corporate doesn't reward me for doing what I'm doing anyway. Every month you're signing new PCs and business partners, or you're getting PC orders. So you're just getting rewarded for what you're doing anyway. So it's growing your paycheck, and then you're getting these fun rewards. And then your network sees this and they're like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like, I want to get fun gifts too. Or so it shows them that, you know, you're doing it, they can do it too, and it intrigues them, I guess, is what I would say.
Yeah, it brings awareness to your network. And if you guys don't follow Megan on Instagram, you should. Her stories are ridiculous. They're so good. And if you're not utilizing stories on Facebook and Instagram, you should be, because it's a huge just door open sign for your business. And that's what we all want to do. If you're not posting and sharing and your mouth is not open, your business is not open. And we have to turn the lights on, you guys. We have to do that. And Instagram's a huge way to do that. Mm-hmm. And the other thing too is your friends and family, they want to help you. And Sarah and I were talking about this last week. Like, if people know that you're close to something, of course you want to make it about them and not beg somebody to buy something. But if you're like, hey, I'm an order away. Did you want to get that lash boost we talked about 2 months ago? Or, you know, I'm close to a milestone. Just asking for the sale is what's going to help you grow your Lead the Way and your business and your paycheck. One other thing that we do, because it is available right now, is if you have somebody that wants to order a redefined regimen and an active hydration serum and maybe a lip serum and a radiant defense, like split that up into a couple orders. And the customer doesn't ever care. I always just say, hey, I'm going to put this through a couple different ways because I get points. It's not going to change the price of the product. You're still going to get free shipping. You're probably just going to see 3 order confirmations. Guys, 3 orders gets you so much closer to the next mile. So if you do have those big orders, just think about, how could I leverage the Lead the Way program like Jamie and Megan talked about to get myself closer to that next milestone? Huge. Megan had like 50 something orders a couple months ago. And I was like, what? It's crazy. But always asking the question, because you can split that up in a couple different ways. There's one more thing that I was going to mention about Lead the Way.
Well, wait, let me say this. So like, there's some times where like I'll have a customer that wants a lash boost and a PM cream. Okay. So I'm like, okay, hold up a minute. I could put a lash boost in one order for them. And then yes, the PM cream doesn't equal 80, but I was like, hey, would do you need one more thing to equal 80? And like, I tell them like, I'm running towards this, whatever goal. And sometimes they're like, yeah, I'm actually out of this too. Or I'm like, hey, if I throw in a sunscreen with that order as a gift for you, is that cool? Or whatever. And so I can split up the orders a little bit more, and then I'll PayPal them the $25. So then I'm like, I got 2 orders out of that customer. I did that a couple times and then it gets more product in their hand. And if this is a PC that's ordered for me a ton, why not gift them with something else and then get 2 orders out of it? Okay. So I'm always thinking about how I can split every single order into $80 increments, like Jamie was saying.
And think about too, when you're using these products, like your goal is always, do you want fries with that? Like McDonald's does it. They're always upselling for something. And if somebody's buying a regimen and you're not adding gauze pads to that, like every gauze pad adds up. If you're not mentioning the sunless tanner or sunscreen, you're doing your business a disservice. And I find a lot that when we take orders, people don't know what else is out there. They don't know what else is out there because they're not like scrolling through the website. They don't have a pamphlet. Actually, I did a training on the daily on that, how awesome it is to send your customers like holiday. You can order pamphlets off your website and then send them for the holiday so they can like throw them on their coffee table. And it's a great conversation piece. But offering other products that people don't know are out there are what is going to change your Lead the Way and change your PSQB and change your paycheck. People just don't think to do that because we get so excited for that one sale. One thing I was also talking to Sarah about, there's this concept called second money. And this is a huge sales tip. Think about when you go to the store and you want to buy a dress and you're like, yeah, I shouldn't buy the dress. We're on a budget. I don't need the dress. Then you're like, F it. I'm buying the dress. I'm buying it. And now because I'm buying the dress, I'm buying the shoes. I'm buying the hair products. I'm buying the necklace and the bracelet. That's called second money. So it's always the hardest to get the first order out of people. But once you get that first order, the second money just helps them justify why they spent the first. So your goal is always adding more products to their order. That makes sense?
I love it.
I love it. It gets me so fired up. Mm-hmm. What else? Anything else? Do you guys have questions at all? Or Megan, that's pretty much Lead the Way. Lead the Way has completely built my business over the last 5 years. I didn't understand it, didn't know what it was. I think of Bose. Wait, let me just see if I have it right here. This speaker showed up. This was one of the Lead the Ways from like 5 years ago. And I was like, why am I getting a speaker? And someone's like, that's Lead the Way. I'm like, what the hell is that? What does that mean? And then once I figured it out and became intentional about it, everything changed for me.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you always gotta look at the end of the month. You always need to see if you're like, I have 9 orders. You never like the last day of the month, you need to be like, well, gosh, I better get that 10th order. Cause if you didn't, you were leaving 2 miles on the table because it goes by month. So like, I think last like February, I signed 1 business partner. I was like about to whore myself out on the street to get that second business partner. I almost signed my dog up because I was like, I'm leaving $200 and 4 miles on the table. I didn't sign anybody, but I was bummed, And so then the next month I signed 3 people. So I was like, I'm getting those 6 miles at $300, So is the bonus money still a thing, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So not only if you sign 2 business partners in 1 month and $300 or more, not only do you get 4 Lead the Way miles right now, you also get $200. Okay. Yes. 3 business partners is 6 miles and $300. 4 business partners, 8 miles and $400. So that's huge too.
And my last tip on that too is, and this I love just sharing with my team too, is the goal is not to sign a $300 kit. And the goal is to bring somebody into the business that has a fighting chance of success with the most amount of products with the biggest bang for their buck. So the goal is $695 and $995 kit because of what they get. And if someone's like, money's an issue, like, guys, money's not, the reason people say that is because they don't see enough value in it, which means you have to do a better job of explaining it and showing it and proving to them why that's the best option. Now, sure, you can sign a $300 kit, but people are more likely to be successful when they have bigger kits. And your organization is going to grow bigger because what you do duplicates. So if you're finding that people are coming in on those smaller kits and your business isn't growing the way you want, maybe just reevaluate how they're coming in and just training your team and having conversations so it duplicates the best way for you guys. Love it.
So can I ask a question to the team, to the group? Yep. Okay, so Jamie earlier said, you know, when your mouth's open, your business is open. I take this so literal, you guys. Anybody that comes within like 3 feet of me is connecting with me in some way. And if you've heard me train before, I talk about this a lot. Like, I don't vomit my business on them, but I'm connecting with them in some way. So those that are on, and I know some of you don't have your video on, I want you to raise your hand if in the past week you have gone up to somebody and you know, prospected them in some way with connecting with them, asking them if they're interested in making more money, and then friended them on Facebook or Instagram and got their contact information when you were out and about. Raise your hand. Good. Okay. I like that. And the reason I ask this is, you guys, you have to be sharing this with like everybody. So I was at a restaurant with my 3-year-old, my 5-year-old, my 4-month-old niece the other day, and my in-laws. And the waitress was adorable, super young millennial. And at the end of the dinner, I'm holding this 4-month-old baby that's not even mine. I went up to her and I was like, listen, you're super outgoing. You're super cute. I was like, are you open to other ways of making money? Like, you obviously rock this waitressing job. And she was like, oh, you want me to babysit? And I was like, no. I don't want you to babysit. I said, I have an amazing business that I do. It's all online and you would do amazing at it, you know? And she was like, oh, what? And I was like, well, Rodan and Fields. And she was like, oh yeah, I've heard of the lash booth. She had these huge lash extensions on. And I was like, yeah, I do go to school. She said she goes to school. I was like, you can work this in between classes, like on your couch at home instead of waitressing. We need to connect. Friended her on Instagram. These millennials put up a picture and they get like 800 likes. I'm like, this is nuts. So, but it's the fact that I connected with her. So I screenshot it. I friended her on Instagram. I screenshotted it to remind myself to reach out to her, to try to get on the phone with her, to have a conversation with her. But if I walked away from that meal and I didn't talk to her, you guys, in my gut, I would have been like, I just walked away from my next, you know, power partner. Somebody else is going to steal her and she's going to join somebody else. And there's been times I've re-walked back in places and been like, hey, I had to come back in here because you stood out to me and I had to share this opportunity with you and I want you to, you know, hear me out or whatever, you know. But I never walk out of somewhere without connecting with somebody that's around me, because my business is a part of me and I'm excited about it and I want to share it with people, because if I don't, somebody else will and they're going to steal my people. So, you know, you just always have to have that confidence and that excitement that this is a gift and you better go share it with everybody, you guys, or you're not going to grow at the rate you want. So.
And this ties it back to Sarah from last week when she talks about that drunk monkey multiplier, where we have these negative thoughts in our head and these like we're just fearful of what's going to happen, which 10 out of 10 times is never going to happen the way you picture it. And you have to open your mouth before you miss the opportunity to. And I can say this after 5 years, you guys, I still have limiting beliefs when it comes to sharing this business, but I do that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just freaking do it anyway and get it out, because what's the worst thing that's going to happen? I mean, no one's ever walked away from me. No one's ever been rude to me. It face to face. People are rude behind their computer because they think it's going to like save them and protect them. But if you don't trick your brain, which is hardwired to keep you safe, to do the things like have a conversation about your skincare business, it's never going to grow and your business is not open. So that's my kind of last piece of advice. Sarah, do you have any closing tips or arguments, or closing arguments just sounded great.
You know, you and I talked about this today about, you know, what I want you guys to think about is, how are you showing that your business is open? You know, we don't have a brick and mortar, and everybody does this differently. You know, it sounds like Megan's really great on Instagram stories. I am like, oh yeah, stories. I try, it's hard. I'm working on it. Like, and I want to be better, but it's okay. I still sell things, right? Megan sells things. Like some people have a ton of events. Some people, you know, go have coffee one-on-one with their prospects all the time. So your open sign can look very different from everybody else on this screen, but you have to find a way to show the world that your door is open. So take a minute this week to really think about that. How am I showing the world that my open sign is flashing? It may not be the same way Jamie or I or Megan do it exactly. We all three are a little different, but you still have to have your open sign, you know, somehow. So yeah, I love it. Thanks, girls. So
Turn
good.
your lights on. Turn your lights on.
Lights on.
That sign.
I love it. So guys, we'll post the replay. I'll post, I made a list of everything I promised you. Carla, thank you for the friend request. I love making new friends. And anything you guys need, just reach out. We are here to help you grow. If you have your hand up and you want it, this is going to happen for you.
rfleadtheway.com. Get on there. Do that homework of enrolling your, like, you know, getting on there and picking your stuff and all that. So any questions before we jump off, or is everyone good?
It's late on the East Coast. I'm ready to make a drink.
I stay up till like 1 a.m. I'm going to reach out on LinkedIn. You guys got me fired up.
I always get fired up when I talk to you guys too.
Bye, guys.
Good night, guys. Thanks for joining us.